Welcome to 365 Language Planet. Is it tough for you to study languages by yourself? If so, the Language Study Club livestream is for you. In this livestream, we can make studying languages fun and easy by doing it together. The livestream is from 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. Japan Standard Time most nights. Let's have a great time learning and using languages then. Now it's time for Let's Speak English and Nihongo Live in partnership with the RSU PAL Center of Ransit University International College in Bangkok, Thailand. This is the last of 5 joint shows we will be doing together this summer. The theme of tonight's show is travel advice. To discuss this theme with us tonight is PK. Good evening, PK. All right. Well, it looks like we're having a little bit of some sound difficulties tonight. And so we can't hear PK yet, but hopefully we will get the sound going and we will be able to hear PK soon, I hope. Check my sound. Okay. My sound is working. I hope your sound will start working soon, PK. Keep our fingers crossed. All right. Well, the first question of tonight's show is, do you have any advice for visiting where you live? In Nihongo de, あなたが住んでいる場所を訪れる際に何かアドバイスはありますか? All right, so please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントで答えを書いてください. You have 5 minutes, or what, I think 5 minutes, or 4 minutes, sorry, you have 4 minutes. All right, so the question is, do you have any advice for visiting where you live? Please let us know in the chat. PK, if you have, you get your mic to work, please let me know if you have any advice for visiting where you live. I live in Gunma, Japan, and so my advice for visiting Gunma is, especially in the summer, is to go to the mountains. That's my advice. But how about you? Do you have any advice for visiting where you live? Please let us know in the chat or in the comments. あなたが住んでいる場所を訪れる際に何かアドバイスはありますか? チャットまたはコメントで答えを書いてください. Do you have any advice? Oh, good evening. Thank you for joining the show. Please let me know if you have some advice for visiting where you live. I know we have a lot of students, or a lot of people from in Thailand, in Bangkok. So do you have any advice for visiting Thailand or Bangkok? And for our Japanese viewers, you could please tell us, do you have any advice for visiting Japan? Please let us know in the chat or in the comments. Like I said before, I definitely recommend visiting the mountains of Gunma in the summer because it's much cooler in the mountains. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining the show tonight. Do you have any advice for visiting where you live? Please let us know in the chat? Oh, good evening. Thank you so much for joining the show. All right, K Workshop has some advice. K Workshop says, if you want to enjoy drinking, go to the Takashimaya Beer Garden. I totally agree. That is a great place to go. All right. Do you have any advice for visiting where you live? Please let us know in the chat or in the comments. あなたが住んでいる場所を訪れる際に何かアドバイスはありますか？チャットまたはコメントで答えを書いてください。Do you have any advice for visiting where you live? I'm like K Workshop. I recommend the beer garden. It's a great place. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for joining tonight's show. All right. Thank you guys. I can't read that, but it looks like a message to PK. I think everyone's hoping PK you can get your mic working somehow. We'd love to hear from you too. All right. Do you have any advice for visiting where you live? Please let us know in the chat or in the comments anytime. All right. Let's move on to the next section. So now, please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. Okay, Ella, thank you very much for your sweet message. Yes, I'm cheering for PPK too. All right, so 今チャットまたはコメントで新しい質問を書いてください。You have 4 minutes. Okay, so you have 4 minutes to write a new question in the chat or in the comments. I'm going to put this image up for now, but oh, great. Okay, so if PPK can come back, I will put him back on the camera. All right. Oh, good evening, Moy. Thank you so much for joining tonight's show. If you have a question, please write your question in the chat or in the comments. Tonight's theme is travel advice, but your question could be about anything. So, for me, I think, do you have any advice for visiting Thailand? That's one question I have. I've never been to Thailand, and so I would, I need advice. But now you can write your question in the chat or in the comments. All right, Takesh, thank you so much for joining tonight's show. Okay, I'll put this here. All right, he says, my advice is to avoid visiting Japan because the summers are too hot. Oh, great advice, Takesh. Thank you very much. I agree. It's like today was so hot in Japan. Okay. All right. Ella says, what time of year is the best for visiting to Japan? Or just visiting Japan is okay. Great question. What time of year is the best for visiting Japan? Great question. In my opinion, the fall is the best. I would say the late fall, like kind of like the middle of November, is a great time to visit Japan. But how about you? Other viewers of the show who live in Japan, do you agree with me? I mean, I think fall is the best time to visit Japan. Falls in Japan are quite warm, and Beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay. Great question. K Workshop. He says, do you have any advice for avoiding heat? I guess you mean hot weather, or maybe avoiding the heat. That's a great question. Uh, I love, you told me some very interesting advice. Well, avoiding. So, I don't know. I think the best advice is to do stuff inside air-conditioned rooms. So if you can find, an air-conditioned room, uh, you can avoid the heat. And maybe visit museums. Visiting museums is great. What do you think, K Workshop? I know my brother and his wife are gonna visit next month, and they're planning on going to a museum in Tokyo. So yeah, we could go. I think going to museums is a great way to avoid the heat. All right, Ella says, I'm always curious about Kobe beef and Japanese eel rice. Is it too expensive? Great question. Um, a great question. I think, eel rice is not too expensive. Japanese eel. But Kobe beef, I think Kobe beef is quite expensive. So I'm pretty much, I've never tried Kobe beef. Or maybe one time I tried a little bit in Kyoto, but yeah, Kobe beef is very expensive. Takesh says, do you have any advice on how to become an English speaker? Great question. If you want to become a speaker of any language, it's good to practice every day. Yeah, practice every day is so helpful. K Workshop says, I recommend to wear a wet shirt and stand in front of a fan. Nice idea, K Workshop. Great idea. Okay, well, let's move on to the second question of tonight's show, which is, what do you think are the drawbacks of traveling? 日本語で、旅行の経験は何だと思いますか? So, please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントで答えを書いてください。What do you think are the drawbacks of traveling? 旅行の経験は何だと思いますか? All right, you have 4 minutes. What do you think are the drawbacks of traveling? Please let me know in the chat or in the comments. All right, Ella says, what about the budget? Traveling for Japan, is it okay? Great question. I think, Japan has a great price range. And so if you want to, if you have a very small budget, you can stay at very low cost hotels or hostels, capsule hotels. I've never stayed at a capsule hotel, but I know they have them somewhere. So and you can eat. They have in Japan you can get very low price food, and so if you have a low budget, I think you can still enjoy Japan. Okay, Workshop says it costs much money. Well, that is true. There's a lot of expensive places in Japan too. But I think you can do both. But I see the drawbacks of traveling. It costs much money. Yes, that is definitely one big drawback of traveling. It costs much money. That's very true. Oh, okay. Let's look. Maybe PPK might be back. Okay. What happened? Oh no, I stopped the timer. Okay, here we go. Okay, PK, are you back? Okay, Mama says, I think airplanes have sometimes delayed. Yes, that is a drawback of traveling. All right. Well, PK, you can hear me, right? Oh, so it says, hello, PK. Thank you. Oh, my pleasure. No problem. Okay, so now, what do you think are the drawbacks of traveling? Ryoko no keiten wa nan da to omoimasu ka? Well, so far it costs a lot of money, and airplanes sometimes have delays. Maybe PK, maybe you could, if you have access to YouTube, you could join us in the chat. That's what I do a lot. You could tell us your answer in the chat. I'll try to send you a link. I see. What if I disconnect? I see. I got your message now. Yeah, I could try that. I could try disconnecting my earphones. Sweet message. Sweet message of support to PK. All right, I gotta make sure that the sound still works. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Okay, so the question is, what do you think are the drawbacks of traveling? I see. What if I disconnect? I see. I got your message now. All right. Nice to meet you. I am your little sister. Ah, sweet, sweet messages of support. All right. What do you think are the drawbacks of traveling? I think, one drawback, is an environmental drawback, right? Sometimes there's a lot of, pollution involved with traveling, especially the like famous places like Mount Fuji or Mount Everest. All right. Hi, Schwartzin says, PK, we are waiting patiently. Don't worry. Nice message of support to PK. All right. What do you think are the drawbacks of traveling? Um, so yeah, sometimes the pollution, uh, prices. Sometimes hotel prices in Japan are really high nowadays because there are so many people traveling to Japan. So that was definitely a drawback. Ryoko no keiten wa nan da to omoimasu ka? You think are the drawbacks of traveling? Okay, let's move on to the next section. So now, please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. 今、チャットまたはコメントで新しい質問を書いてください。Please, oh, and you have 4 minutes. Oh man. All right. Right. Very nice message. Wow, thank you so much, Ella. Thank you so much for subscribing. That's wonderful. Thank you. Very sweet. So please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントで新しい質問を書いてください。What? Oh my god. I don't know what happened. All right. So, do you have a question? If you have a question, you can ask PK and me. Okay, so Shwen says, is it okay to travel to Bangkok in rainy season? I mean, too much rain. I don't know. That's a great question. Is it okay to travel to Bangkok in rainy season? Please let us know in the chat. I mean, that's a good question for PK. So PK, if you can, maybe you can write your answer in the chat. If you have, YouTube channel, you can, or you can write your answer in the chat. I don't know if it's good or not. All right. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your support. Please, let's enjoy using English and Japanese now. So if you have a question, please let us know by writing your question in the chat. All right, I'll put the image back up. チャットまたはコメントで新しい質問を書いてください。Tonight's theme is travel advice, but you can write a question about anything. Travel advice, life advice. Takesh had a great question. Do you have any advice on how to become an English speaker? Great question. All right, Ella says, we love English. That's a great, yeah, I love English too, but I love learning languages. So all languages. Thank you very much for your comment. All right, so yes. Do you have a new question? If you have a question, please write your question in the chat or in the comments. Is it okay to travel to Bangkok in rainy season? I have no idea. All right, K Workshop says, I think traveling is an opportunity to have wonderful experiences. How about you? I agree 100%. And I think traveling is an opportunity to meet people, who live in different places. And it's for me, when I travel, I love to meet people who live there and enjoy, having a conversation with them. But, yeah, great question. All right. Okay, well, let's move on to, great question. So PK, his camera is not on right now. Any technical problem? Yes. So, PK's, I think PK, my guess is maybe PK is trying to switch, maybe switch cameras, perhaps? But we'll see. I'm not sure. Takesh says, what do you think are the drawbacks for Japanese people when learning English? Great question. I don't think there are any drawbacks for Japanese people when learning English. Uh, so yeah, I think it's great. Everyone who learns, learning English is very positive for everyone. Um, I would say the only drawback is when you don't want to learn English, but you have to learn English. I think that's very stressful for a lot of kids and some grown-ups. And so it's always good, if you have the desire from inside to want to learn and use English. That's great. Okay, well, let's move on to the last question of tonight's show. Thank you so much, Ella, for supporting PK and me. Thank you very much. That's very sweet. All right, so the last question of tonight's show is, one place I'd like to get travel advice for is Osaka. How about you? 日本語で旅行のアドバイスをいただきたい場所の一つは大阪です。あなたはどうですか? So, all right. Please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントで答えを書いてください. You have 4 minutes. All right. So, one place I'd like to get travel advice for is Osaka. How about you? Please let me know in the chat where would you like to get travel advice for? Please let us know. 旅行のアドバイスをいただきたい場所の一つは大阪です。あなたはどうですか? Please チャットまたはコメントで答えを書いてください. All right, so I'm gonna put the picture up, and if PK comes back, I will. Okay, Ella, thank you so much. And she says, everyone who's watching, please like and subscribe. Thank you, Ella. Thank you very much for your sweet support. Thank you. All right, so. I have a little trouble with the camera and mic tonight. All right. But anyways, please let us know what's one place that you would like to get travel advice for. Please let me know in the chat. For me, number 1 is Osaka, and number 2 is Nara. All right. K Workshop says, I'd like to get travel advice for visiting Bangkok. Nice idea. Yeah, me too. Me too. I've never been to Bangkok, Thailand, so Bangkok is another place I'd like to get travel advice for. Okay. Says, I have never been to Japan, but if I have a chance, I want to go to Tokyo. Yeah, that's great. I love Tokyo. It's a great place. And so I definitely would recommend going to Tokyo. All right. If you're just joining tonight's show, you can share your answer to this question in the chat or in the comments. 旅行のアドバイスをいただきたい場所の一つは大阪です。あなたはどうですか? チャットまたはコメントで答えを書いてください。One place I'd like to get travel advice for is Osaka. How about you? Ooh. It says, how about Fuji Mountain? Great question. I've never climbed Mount Fuji, but I've been to Shizuoka Prefecture in Shizuoka City, where you can get a really beautiful view of Mount Fuji from Shizuoka and Kamakura, and Hakone. Some great places to see Mount Fuji. Okay, great job. All right, well, let's move on to the last section of tonight's show. Okay, Alice says we all are family. We love English. Me, yeah, I 100% agree. Okay, so now please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. All right, yes, I'm happy to hear that. That's wonderful. I'm so happy. Okay. チャットまたはコメントで新しい質問を書いてください。Oh, okay, just a moment. PK might be back. All right. Hey, PK. Hey, you're back. I can hear you.
Oh,
Hello.
really?
Hello.
Oh,
I can hear you. Wonderful. All
yeah, I don't know.
right. Okay, well, I'm going to start the timer. So this is the last section of tonight's show where viewers can ask PK and me a question in the chat or in the comments. All
Well,
right.
I don't know what happened. For some reason, it's working again.
Which is wonderful, Never say never. I'm so happy
I
you
I
didn't.
searched for like I searched for like 1,000 solutions
Yeah,
on
great. You didn't give up.
Google.
You kept fighting, and now you're here. I'm sure. I'm gonna clap, clap. The
I,
sound for that because I'm so happy you made it. Um,
so, which topic are we currently on?
Well, the last one, and but the big question, one person asked about rainy season. Like, is it okay to visit Bangkok in rainy season?
Yeah, I would say yes, because it's not that much difficult from other countries. I mean, you can experience a little bit of rain here and there, but it shouldn't be that much of a bother if you have an umbrella. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, we got a lot of people who are very happy. Someone said, "Yay, PK is back! Welcome back, PK! Hey!" And the K Workshop says, "Welcome back, PK. If you visit Japan, you must try the Shinkansen and ramen."
Yeah. I've always wanted to try ramen in Japan because I watch a lot of anime and they have lots of scenes eating food, especially ramen. They look so delicious. So one day, if I visit Japan, first thing I'm do is go to a ramen shop and just sit down and eat all
Uh,
sorts of things.
Sounds great. Takesh says, "One thing I would like advice for is how to tip." How about you? Do you know about tipping?
I've heard of it, but I don't think we do that in my home country or in Thailand. I don't see tipping anywhere.
I see.
But I've heard of tipping in like America. It's pretty big. So
Yes.
they also have a tipping culture in Japan as well.
No tipping culture in Japan.
Oh, hmm.
So it's a great place for Americans because, like, yeah, tipping is kind of crazy in the U.S.
Yes, yes.
Ella says my favorite season is rainy season.
Mine is summer
Summer.
because school's closed.
Let's see. Well, IA says, how about Pattaya?
Pattaya.
Uh,
Yeah, it's very known for its nightlife. You'll see foreigners everywhere
wow.
because, for one, Thailand's very cheap. So it's like a paradise for tourists,
Wow.
essentially. In Pattaya, we have all sorts of things, the nightlife, all sorts of people are there. So it's very diverse.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds interesting. I've heard, a little bit about it, but um,
Really? You should come visit one or two times.
I see.
It's
Someday.
really fun.
Someday. All right. Zai says, I want to visit Funabashi. Funabashi. I guess, that must be someplace in Japan. Funabashi. Do you know Funabashi? Funabashi? Is it in Tokyo? Chiba. All right. Well, that's one place I don't know about Funabashi. All right. Well, um, you know, okay. I says, how about foods in Thailand? I heard that it is too spicy. Is it right?
Um, there are spicy food, but I haven't come across food that is too spicy. It's very eatable for normal people, you know, not just people who love spicy food.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about spiciness. It's like kind of myth associated with Thai people.
Yes. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm excited. Someday I really hope I can try.
They say it's like the food is like too sweet or too spicy, but it's not very much the case here.
Okay, you got one viewer said, "You are so smart, PK."
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. All right. Well, really quick, PK, because I had sent you the question before, but what do you think are the drawbacks of traveling?
So traveling with a group, with family, with friends can be fun, but alone you have to like keep a lot of things in mind. You have to keep your stuff together. You have to make sure you don't leave behind any stuff behind. One time, I left my phone at a hotel,
Wow.
and I really panicked. But the hotel called me and says, "Here's the phone." So I quickly went back and take it. So I was really lucky there.
Ah, that is
So
a good.
so management is
Yes.
a big problem. You
Yes.
have to keep yourself together at all times. You have to like
Yes.
look out for things like bad people,
Right.
pickpockets, and such.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great point. I forgot about that. I forgot quite a few things at hotels, in my lifetime, and most of them I think I never got back. They've
Mhm.
gone. So you kind of your story has at least your story has a happy ending. Yes. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to move on to the end. That's the end of tonight's show. It's unfortunate, we didn't have more time to talk, but at least we had a little bit of time. So that's good. So thank you guys. Thank you, PK, for not giving up and joining the show at the end. Alice says English is the best. PK is the best brother in my life. Wow. So big fan. All right. Well, thank you, PK, and thank the viewers for joining us tonight. Um, Later tonight, I am going to do the Language Study Club live stream. So if you want to study languages more, this is kind of just a study time I do in the evening. So if you have time, let's enjoy learning and using languages at 9:30 Japan Standard Time. All right. Well, that's the end of tonight's show.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Oh, okay. One person says, please do more English videos. Okay, thank you. And K Workshop says, thank you guys. May the force be with you. You know, from Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Okay. Well, have a great night. Till next time. Bye.